What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have some fantastic news. Universal has announced that Fast and Furious Supercharged at Universal Studios in Florida is going to be closing early. So now we can all celebrate and rejoice that this ride is finally leaving this park. It's coming a lot earlier than anticipated. Originally, it was supposed to close sometime next year. So this is coming like 6 months, possibly even more months in advance. And it's fantastic to see. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with how quickly they are moving on this new roller coaster, the new Hollywood Drift roller coaster that they're putting here in Orlando. And it's great to see because they're moving quickly on that. So I think they want to just go ahead and get the old ride out, bring the new ride in. Also, I know that they utilize the building for Supercharged during Halloween Horror Nights. So it's kind of one of those things, if it's going to be closed kind of in the latter part of the year, might as well go ahead and just close it for good since it's right around the corner anyway. But hopefully with it closing early, that means they can get a jump on replacing the ride. And that is where we come today, and there's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors on what is going to be the replacement for this ride. I mean, there's so many different ways it can go. They could possibly bring back an old IP. They could, add something that they already have in the park and just do another attraction to it. They could bring in a completely new IP, and that would be cool to see as well. But there's a lot of ways it could go about this. Some of the rumors that are currently going around right now, a possible Back to the Future ride, which I would personally love because it's my all-time favorite movie. And I would love to see more representation for Back to the Future in the park once again. So it'd be cool to see a ride like that come back full swing. Jaws has been thrown around, obviously, because that was a fantastic ride that used to be in the park and now is no longer there. And it would be great to see something like that, maybe get thrown back in as well. Now, the only problem with those two specifically is Universal's never really been willing to go back to something they got rid of. So it's not very likely, I think, in this park where they had previous rides that they would then go back and put in a new ride. But hopefully, maybe they would reconsider that and possibly look into one of these IPs and look into bringing one of them back. Now, in terms of adding something to the park that is already there, there is a lot of speculation that it could maybe become a new Harry Potter attraction. They have that, purple double-decker bus, the night ride bus or whatever it's called. And there's a lot of people thinking that they can maybe do a ride with that because it's kind of close enough to the section where Harry Potter is, so you could basically just kind of swoop in and turn that whole area into Harry Potter as well. That one I'm not as ecstatic about. Not that I don't like Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potter movies and I love the Harry Potter stuff in the parks. But to me, if they go that route, they're probably going to utilize the same ride system that they currently have. And that's what I don't want them to do. I do not want to see this ride system again. Whatever they end up doing, whether it's an old IP, a new IP, something that's already in the park, I just want them to completely scrap this and start over fresh. We need a new ride system in here because this ride system is garbage. I do think Kong over in Islands of Adventure utilizes it a bit better, but that ride kind of has a bit more going on with like the animatronic. The queue is fantastic, the outside portion at the beginning of the ride. So even though that ride's not great either, it's definitely better than Supercharged because it has those other elements that kind of fit into it as well. Whereas Supercharged just has nothing going for it at all. And I think we're all in agreement that this ride just from the jump absolutely sucked. And, it made sense kind of over in Hollywood when they had it as part of the tram tour because you're part of that tour and you eventually go into this ride essentially. There, it makes a little bit more sense. From my understanding, it still wasn't all that great. I've never been out to that park myself, but just from what I hear, yeah, it maybe worked a bit better in terms of what you were doing on the tram tour, but it still was a pretty terrible experience overall. But to take that same concept and just build a whole new, building and take out 2 other attractions in the process of it, and make it the exact same ride, but it's a Fast and Furious ride where you're on a party bus, which makes absolutely no sense. The fact that it's taken this long for Universal to realize that if we're gonna make a Fast and Furious ride or attraction, it needs to be a roller coaster. Why would you not start there from the beginning? You know, they're building Hollywood Drift over in Hollywood. They're building it currently in Orlando as well. It's great to see they finally realize, hey, this IP is about, you know, people driving fast cars. Maybe we do that and make it a really fast roller coaster and put the cars on the roller coaster as the trains. And hey, what do you know? It's looking like a great idea now. Whereas Supercharged is literally, hey, we're all sitting on a party bus with like 60 other people and we're watching what look like cartoon characters on these screens that are surrounding us, and I can barely see what's happening over there. I can kind of see what's happening there. Why is Vin Diesel bigger than a helicopter that he's jumping on? Who the hell knows why that happened? But as bad as it was, it did make for some pretty funny moments because of how stupid and ridiculous the ride was overall. But yes, I think universally, no pun intended, that it was one of the most hated rides ever created. Not just from Universal, but just theme parks in general. It was a bad way to go. And thankfully now it's leaving, and even better, it's leaving early. So get your last rides in before August 16th if you want to. You know, let's see this ride off, and hopefully what we get in replacement is much better. And yeah, I'd like to know what you guys think. What are your speculations? What do you think is going to take the place of this ride? What would you prefer go here? And are you disappointed to see this ride leave? I can't imagine too many people are. Maybe Vin Diesel and the people involved in making it, because I'm sure, you know, they took a few days to make this ride. I'm sure it was a fun experience and, you know, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I think even those people that might somewhat like this ride still think it's pretty garbage overall. So that's about it for me, guys. Like I said, be sure to let me know what you thought of this ride. Are you sad to see it go? Are you happy to see it go? Let me know what ride you would love to see in its replacement. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, ride reviews, rankings, all kinds of good stuff. I'll leave all my links down below on where you can follow me on all my social media accounts. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.